Hi, and welcome to Vtuber Talks with Acapelisa. I'm here with Kirbniac. How you doing, Kirby?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
So first things first, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm known as the Kerbo Boyo of the stream, and I just play a variety of different games. I'm kind of currently quote unquote definitely not addicted to Final Fantasy 14 online.
Nice. Good
Yeah,
game.
definitely not. What are you talking about?
Definitely not, no. I'm actually probably going to replay on NA server, and I will actually try to pay attention to all of the story.
God,
Off
that was
stream.
my little
Off,
pet peeve.
off
That was my
stream.
little pet peeve that you didn't pay attention to the story. Though
I'm innocent.
I will say, it is okay if you skip a bit of the story in the first expansion because
hmm
that has the most out of any expansion. Like it has the most. It's
Yeah.
just a little bit over exaggerate, or not over exaggerated, but over expunged
hmm
with how much there is. But the rest, especially the second and fourth expansion, you
I
need
have
to
to
pay
read.
attention to the story of
Okay.
those games.
Yeah, I'm going to this time around. So, how did you come up with your name?
How I got my username? It was actually a bit of a joint effort with a few friends of mine, but it was actually a friend, Wanderer Serenity,
hmm
who actually helped me like finalize the name because when I first started streaming for like the first few weeks, I was just Kirby Maniac. It was just like a bit of a placeholder name for a while.
hmm
Um, and then we were just like in a call, just like debating. I was like, all right, what can I do to like keep somewhat of the Maniac name, but also have a little bit of Kirby into this and whatnot. And Serenity, she typed it out as Kirbniac, but she was pronouncing it as Kirby Knack. So it was like a bit of a difference between Kirbniac or Inac. But I eventually stuck with Kirbniac as my username. It was just meant to be a placeholder name until I thought of something better and maybe more original, I guess. But I kind of got a bit lazy, so I kind of just stuck with it.
So, when did you start streaming to begin with?
I started streaming around June or July of 2019. I remember that much.
hmm
Because with the same group of people with Wonder Serenity, you, McKenna, and a few other friends that we know, a lot of you did stream all together at the same time, kind of ish, or at least y'all streamed at a point.
hmm
Um, and it was just like, yo, Curb, why don't you try streaming? It's gonna be fun. I was like, all right, I'll try it. I'll do it. So I downloaded Streamlabs. You, all of you, like, kind of helped me get little tips and tricks. Learn the program, and I kind of just started streaming.
What made you want to be a VTuber as opposed to using a face cam?
Well, because this is a bit of a weird one, because originally I was a VR chat streamer. Like that was the only game I streamed.
Yeah.
So I would just use a bunch of different models here and there. I had like three main ones: a female avatar that my friend McKenna made me on my birthday, which then later changed to a public avatar that I used for quite a while, to eventually a little bit of rework from original version of this avatar to what you see now.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I was just streaming VR chat using all my avatars and whatnot, and then when I saw Wanderer Serenity do this whole like playing other games while still using her avatar, um I was like curious to how she did it, so I asked her. It's like, oh yeah, it's like using this program. Like we were using Luppet because that was the only one we knew at the time.
Mhm.
Because I think VC Face was still being made in production. So our first option was Luppet. She told me how to use it. She told me to get the leap motion so I can track my fingies, and she actually helped me import my first avatar onto there as well. And I just started streaming another game without any kind of debut of anything. I was just like, all right, stream, we're playing this game now. And here's my avatar. All right, let's go. So I didn't really know too much about the whole. I mean, I understood the whole VTubing thing, but
Mhm.
obviously with like the biggest ones that are out there, like Zentrea, and Iron Mouse, because they were like the ones who really made it explode. Because I actually knew Zentrea because I used to watch quite a few VR chat streamers,
Mhm.
and Zentrea was on that same boat. She was a VR chat streamer
Mhm.
only until she, I guess, in a sense, became
Moved
a
over.
VTuber.
Yeah.
Hmm. Like we were kind of. I feel like VR chat streamers are like
The
uh
OG
the the
VTubers.
the the, o, the origin of VTubing.
Are you planning on ever doing a face reveal?
Uh, actually, about that, a long time ago, I want to say like maybe about a year or so ago,
Hmm.
I made announcements when I was at like 300 followers, saying like, all right, you know what, we're gonna do this. If I ever reach 1,000 followers on Twitch, I would do a face reveal. And just recently, like a few weeks ago to maybe a month ago, no, definitely not a month ago, like maybe 2 weeks ago now,
Yeah.
I just recently finally reached 1,000 followers on Twitch, so now I have to do a
Congratulations.
face
Yeah.
reveal. But I'm actually planning a subathon that is going to be happening in about 2 weeks or so.
Hmm.
Where the final goal of the subathon is, if they manage to make it there by the end of the subathon, I would dye my hair pink
Hmm.
for the face reveal, like my avatar. So either way, either if it gets reached or not, they're still getting the face reveal. It's just a matter of, are they going to say pink,
Hmm.
or are they going to see insert hair color here? Because I'm still
Generic
going to
hair
keep that a
color
surprise.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, insert generic hair color here.
So, how did you come up with your character design?
Like I said earlier, I played a lot of VR chat, so I was just switching avatars every now and again.
Hmm.
But how I got this one that you see now is in VR chat. They hold this event called VCAT, which is the virtual market that they kind of hold every year. Um, where a lot, like just a bunch of people can come in and showcase a lot of their work, whether it's like where it's just like normal like item models, avatar models, world models. And it's gone to the point where it's not just stuff related to 3D modeling, but even like actual works of art, like 3D art, music, just a bunch of other stuff. Heck, I think I've even seen some exhibits with books in them.
Oh, wow.
um yeah. And like I said, like a majority of them, like I want to say like maybe 60 to 70% about of it
Hmm.
is like stuff revolving around VR chat. And you could just go around of all these, like try out some of these avatars. Like you can change into these models, say a bit of a preview. But obviously, you can't really favorite it because they have like a giant like logo saying that you if you want to buy this avatar. And then they have a panel where you can where it opens a page on your web browser
Hmm.
where you can buy the model. And I will say, like 80% of the avatars that are showcased there are either females or furries. There are barely ever any male avatars.
Hmm.
So those small few male avatars that are there, some of them are pretty alright, but something that wasn't one that
They're
was
not
actually
your
looking
style.
for.
Yeah.
It's nothing that I was looking for until I found the original base of this one, and it was honestly just a tie between two different models. This
Hmm.
one, and I was like another one that was like kind of like a little bit of a wolf boy, but not like those like e boy, not like the e boy ones that you see everywhere in VR chat. No, it's kind
Uh-huh.
of like a small little wolf boy one.
Hmm.
Um, and also I gotta preface this by saying there are not just the hundreds, but thousands of avatars that are showcased
Oh, wow.
because these things are huge. So yeah, there's a lot to choose from, but
Hmm.
sadly not a lot of male ones to choose from. So yeah, I finally got the base for this one, and I told a friend who knew quite a bit of texturing because I didn't at the time. Yo, do you think you can get this outfit and change it to pink, and I'll take care of the rest? And it's like, oh yeah, sure. Give me like 3 days or whatever. So I did, and they came back and they gave me all this with like all the little like Kirby, little extra Kirby stuff. Don't mind my arm trying to choke me to death. And they even made me the logo that you can see in my on my chest right there.
Hmm.
They even made me that, which is actually my Twitter banner on Twitter. The hair was actually a different hairstyle that was originally on the model, but I was really vibing with it. So I asked a friend who does a lot of Vroid stuff, who by the name of Suki Luna, amazing modeler by the way. She does take commissions. So I commissioned her to like make this kind of hairstyle for me. But the main thing I wanted her to add is the little hoge that see here at the top, because
Hmm.
I don't know if some of you have noticed, I've actually made shape keys to where it actually changes depending on my expression. Or like I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm angry. because some of this like extra like animation kind of stuff I really love doing. Just like add that looks flare. Oh yeah, I still have this one where I have my cave cat in every time I get bonked.
Do you have any preferences or restrictions on what art can be made of your model?
Um, Honestly, any kind of art of me is fine, except for explicit content. Please, no explicit content, like zero at all. Because I kind of have this model as like kind of a bit of an extension of me as well.
Hmm.
So just seeing kind of like explicit art, I don't really feel too comfortable with. Any kind of form of fan art is fine because I will say this in one of my recent streams, or
Hmm.
I was talking about how a person gifted me a dating simulator game, and it was a bit of a on the yaoi side. And my chat, I don't know how it escalated to it, but it escalated to the point of like chat wanting yaoi fan art of of Kirbniac here. So I'm just like, oh no.
Uh-oh.
Like if you're gonna do, and they want to do it with like this other streamer that I
Hmm.
kind of know by the name of Kirby Knight. That's a long story altogether. Trust me, I you don't want to get into that deep dive rabbit hole.
All right.
Um, and I told him like, uh, please no, because if I'm gonna have fan art of like something that's like kind of risque ish, with someone else's avatar, please ask them for their permission.
Hmm.
Ask them for their permission if they're okay with it as well. Because if they're not okay with it and then they just see this, it would probably feel uncomfortable for them. I would say, heck, if anyone did that from on my end, I would definitely feel uncomfortable with it.
Hmm.
But just anything like if it's something small, just like cuddling around a tree or something, maybe having a picnic, stuff like that is fine. I mean, there is also other times where it was like I had my avatar in a maid outfit at one point, so if they did fan art of that, I wouldn't mind, but I'd be traumatized for at least a week. But aside from that, everything else is free game. Just
Hmm.
no explicit stuff, please.
Do you use your real voice or a character voice?
Oh, for the most part, I just use my real voice. I don't really see the need to really try to make another voice. Though, whenever it comes to like games where they have voice, when they have text, if I want to, I just go ahead and do some extra little voice acting from there. Like for example, I think you might have popped in some of my streams when I stream F14, Lisa.
Hmm.
The when it comes to like voicing the Hrothgars, like the big cat ones, or like any kind of like big like ogre kind of like character.
Hmm.
I kind of my voice a bit like this. I'm giving this kind of accent, you know how these. I tend to like to like extend my variety every now and again because
Hmm.
I've been wanting to get into voice acting for a while, and when it comes to voicing characters in video games, really just lets me drive off to do whatever I want.
Are you ever self-conscious of your voice in VODs or videos?
I rarely ever watch those. But for me, it's not really more of my voice. I'm kind of okay with it.
Hmm.
It's just more of like if there's any background noise that I knew I could have like cut off from the
Hmm.
VOD or the video. Because I rarely ever do videos. I think I only have like 5 or 6 videos on my YouTube. Because the last one I uploaded was like maybe 2 3 weeks ago,
Hmm.
and before that, it was like probably 4 or 5 months ago.
What makes you keep wanting to stream to this day?
For me, it's kind of like a bit of two reasons. One is that I kind of just done it instinctively at this point because I've been doing it for 2 years and I've kept myself at a constant schedule. There's just like, all right, I think I'm ready to stream. I kind of want to stream this game. There's like I kind of want to show it off to people
Hmm.
who, like for example, Final Fantasy 14. I mean, aside from playing the free trial all the way to the second expansion, Heaven's Ward, with
Hmm.
any class up to level 60, there are people who want to
Not
go further
sponsored.
than that, but hashtag not sponsored. Square, please. I would take the sponsor any day. But yeah, there's still people who want to play further but
Same
can't
though.
pay for the subscription,
Hmm.
or because that was like the reason for me why I watched like a lot
Yeah,
of YouTubers when I was younger. It was just like I want to play this game, but I don't have the money to do it or to play it with,
for
to
sure.
pay to get the game. So I'm just like, if I can showcase this game off to people, I will. And then, well, there was my original case with VR chat. It was just a fun game that all of us can just hang out with, and there are like a lot of people who don't really have the PC to run VR chat, and they don't
Yeah.
have VR, even though they want it, even though you can play it on desktop. It is just as fun. Okay,
Yes.
maybe a little less because you can't really do hand fingly wiggly stuff,
But
but
you
it's
can still
still
meet people
still pretty
and
fun.
talk to them and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's still just a honestly fun place to hang around and meet people. For I'll be honest, almost any reason you can think of, because there's just so much to do in that game, so much, and there's still so much more stuff that's being added to this game.
Yeah. What do you hope to achieve during your VTubing career? Like, what are your goals, your aspirations?
With the whole VTubing career, I kind of just see that as more of just like, oh, I get to meet people of like who maybe kind of have the same interests and whatnot.
Hmm.
Because one of my main goals is um like voice acting and now adding on to that category of photography, mainly virtual
Hmm.
photography, because I've just wanted to do voice acting for like the longest time, and when I do voice acting when it comes to voicing characters in video games, I just go all in, like full on
Go ahead.
ham to the wheel, just the full throttle. It's just like, all right, how can I mess up my voice? A lot of the games I grew up with had like amazing voice acting, or even
Hmm.
sometimes if it didn't really count as amazing voice acting back then, if you like look back on it, it was amazing for me. Um, so I was just like, and there was just like a bunch of like different video game titles and like skits that people have done that are just like I kind of want to try my hand at it as well. So I just kind of like put my hat in the ring with like doing voice acting characters, and I'm honestly thinking of like doing like little skits or like little like mini um I wouldn't call it like mini episodes, but like um oh god, I guess skits for the most part
Hmm.
is just what I would really want to do for the most part. But I do eventually want to get into like making actual animations and actually make like a just like make any kind of scene that you would just want to imagine and like bring to life. Like that's the kind of stuff I wanted to do. And with the photography, um, I've showed you this before, Lisa, where
Hmm.
I have like this fancy
The VR
camera called the
chat ones,
VRC
yeah.
lens, where you can take like the highest quality photos, give it depth of field, add different kinds of filters to it, and it's gone to the point where I may or may not have over like three, no, not three, 7,000 photos now.
I thought you were going to say you have a problem.
I
I may or may not have a
don't have a.
problem.
I may or may not have a problem. What you call a problem, I call a hobby.
What is something that you've really enjoyed about being a VTuber and streaming?
But like being the whole like VTuber thing is just like I get to like express myself because it's just
Hmm.
like because with me when I was becoming VR chat and being able to use VR, I get to like fully express myself, immerse myself,
Hmm.
use my hands, use whatever voice I could, and just go at it and be as expressive as possible because I love being expressive. Acting, voice acting, love to death.
Hmm.
And with the whole VTubing thing now, I get to expand my range further because I was limited to the amount of people I can meet in VR chat. But now there's just all these other people who stream all these different kind of games, do all these different kinds of things, whether it be art, cinema, drawing. Or wait, drawing and art are the same thing. What am I thinking? Um,
It's
and
a
just
type.
all these other extra kind of stuff that they do.
Hmm.
Like heck, even like people who doing talk shows, like you, for example.
Hey.
Uh, exactly. Um, oh, and those like people who do like karaoke, I always got to give them props. I got to give props to anyone who do a karaoke stream, whether
Hmm.
they say they have a good voice or not. I got to give them hella props for that. I mean, heck, even artists as well. The most I can draw is
Yeah.
like a stick figure, and that's about it.
You've already talked about your voice acting and stuff like that. Are there any other special skills or talents that you have?
Because I hear this quite a bit from the VTuber community, surprisingly.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people, they like commission their models 2D or 3D. So or they kind of just like Frankenstein things together. So hearing people like when I was showing like some of the stuff that I've done with like my VTuber model, especially with like like adding in these like mini shape keys and then just like
Hmm.
some of the stuff that I've incorporated
Oh
from
yeah,
VR
that's
chat and put
definitely a
it into
skill. Yeah,
here. Because I honestly
special
didn't really
skill.
think of that as a skill.
I
It's just
would
like
for sure.
it's hard for me to really determine what determines as a skill or talent or what makes it considered that
Hmm.
skill or talent. Like for example, singing. what makes it considered singing like a skill or a talent? What like how good
Mm.
do you have to be for that to be considered a talent, or is it just being having the ability to sing at all? Like that's
I
something I just
guess
don't really don't
what
understand.
would be classified as a skill or talent is that you are above average, and other if you were to show other people, they would agree that it is a skill or a talent.
The funny thing is, I mean, I'm kind of still working on it, but I can
Hmm.
easily take a break on it. I'm actually converting some of my friends' models from like one version to make it compatible with VTuber programs like VC Face,
To
and I'm like,
VRM. Yeah.
yeah, and VRM. So I'm like, for me, that takes like all of like 10 to like 30 minutes to an hour, depending if I get distracted by looking at memes. But to like these other people, it's just like I don't understand how this all works, and I'm just like, I guess it's just because I've done it so much, it just like
Yeah.
becomes my form of normal. It's just like
Hmm.
I guess maybe that would be my skill: converting, editing, models. Though when it comes to anything 2D, I know nothing about.
Same.
When it comes to 2D, I know
Nope.
nothing. Like if you want me to rig a 3D model for VRM, yeah, I could do that. But if you
Hmm.
want me to rig a 2D model, I'm just gonna be like,
Stares at screen blankly for 2 hours.
smoke's gonna be coming out of my ears. Oh yeah, okay. I kind of want to show this. This is like an old version of my model with a different hairstyle.
Okay.
Oh boy, that's a little bit of a
No,
close zoom in.
there we go.
Yeah, I
The
like this is one of
spiky
my
hair.
like the earlier versions of the model before I had that new hairstyle that I do now. But I think it's on this one.
Whoa. Bye bye. Are you coming back?
Ah,
Oh.
yeah.
I thought I was going to finish the interview
Sorry.
just with a voice.
You know how you dissolve into when you dissolve into the ether, it takes a bit of comeback. It takes
Oh,
quite a bit.
makes sense.
But yeah, like stuff like that, like took me no more than like 5 minutes to add on, and
Oh, wow.
when I show people that, they're just
I would
astounded.
be
I'm
like,
just like,
what? Yeah. What got you into gaming?
oh
We're
boy, I think
going
this
way
is like
back.
a lot of yeah, a lot of children who like started playing like on Nintendo with like Pokemon and whatnot. Because for me, like I've not played a lot of shooter games because my family was like very religious. So
Hmm.
it's just like, no, if you play like a shooter game, you're gonna want to shoot up the police. And I'm like, bitch, the fuck? The fuck?
What? No? What?
They were very religious about that when I was younger.
Uh
Now
huh.
they're kind of just more
They don't care.
relaxed
Uh
about
huh.
it, I guess. But earlier, they just like stuck me to whatever like childlike game they could. So I was like
Hmm.
always played Nintendo games like Mario, Sega games like Sonic. Pokemon was actually a really big one because as much as I am a
Hmm.
Kirby fan, a lot of the games that I played were actually Pokemon.
Okay.
Um, like played through every single at least one game from each generation. I basically only grew up with Nintendo.
Hmm.
And I just stuck with it for God knows how long. Like literally, when it comes to like the three big companies, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox, I've only had a PlayStation 2, and not the thin one, the very thick one,
Hmm.
an Xbox 360,
Hmm.
and then for Xbox, and then all the other systems from Nintendo. I got the Game Boy, the Game Boy Color. Um, so I actually didn't have the GameCube, but I did have the N64. The Wii, the DS, the DS Lite, uh, didn't have the Wii U, and then the 3DS and the Switch. I
So
literally
on a
had almost
Nintendo,
every other.
yeah.
I almost had every system from Nintendo, whereas for PlayStation and Xbox, I
Just
only
like
had
here and
one.
there, yeah.
I kind of just grew up with it, like every other kid out there. I kind of
Hmm.
just grew up with it. Yeah, I think the first shooter game I've ever played was when I was at my cousin's place and they were playing Halo 3 ODST, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, so
it was
it's
Halo ODST. That's the one what it was. I played it for like 30 minutes and then I was just like, how do I aim? How do I shoot? How do I grenade?
how do I do this? Do you watch anime, and if so, what are your favorite ones?
I actually haven't been watching a lot of anime recently. I know
Hmm.
there's like a lot of good anime out there. Like Goblin Slayer, Demons, or not Goblin Slayer. Or is it? Is that what the other one's called?
Goblet. There's two. There's both.
Yeah, no, that her name's Nezuko. Yeah, like
Yes.
there's like those that I haven't seen. I haven't watched Konosuba. There's just a lot of anime that I haven't seen, and I'm honestly, oh god, I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, and I'm sorry in advance. There are still a lot of Studio Ghibli movies that I haven't seen. I haven't watched Spirited Away. I haven't seen Kiki's Delivery Service. I haven't seen Howl's Moving Castle. The only ones I can remember watching are Ponyo,
Mm-hmm.
The Secret Life of Arrietty, and definitely My Neighbor Totoro. Those are the main three.
Mm-hmm. There's
Except
some
for
good
that, I haven't
ones.
watched a lot of the other ones. Though I do remember watching My Hero Academia. I still need to catch up on the fourth season.
Mm.
Um, but that one's honestly a really good one. I hear like people talk flack about it, but I feel like more of the flack is towards the fandom. The anime itself is amazing.
And what's your favorite one? Like the out of the ones that you have watched over time, what's one that stuck with you?
Oh, one that stuck with me. Hmm. Because yeah, like I said, I haven't watched a lot of anime in a while, so the only one that can really pop into my head right now is My Hero Academia.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously they're the big ones like Dragon Ball, Naruto, and Bleach, and all of those. But I feel like for me, those are kind of run their course because I sometimes forget that Dragon Ball is still going on with Dragon Ball Super,
Oh, is
and
it
I'm just like,
actually?
oh
Wow.
wait, they're still going with that. I thought they ended already.
What are your favorite animals?
Chinchilla, chinchilla,
That
chinchilla.
was the
The most
fastest answer I've
adorable,
ever gotten.
the most adorable beings in existence.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like a little. They're just so fluffy and small
They
and need to be
are.
cared for. If I could, I would own like 20 of them. But I will say this: they are very, very high maintenance,
Oh,
very high maintenance,
because of the
because
dusting
they
and
can't
stuff.
take. Yeah, because they can't take normal baths because they have such like a weak body immunity system
Mm.
that just getting enough water in them can
Mm-hmm.
drown them.
Oh wow.
Like that's why they take these dust
Oh.
baths.
Hmm.
And also, I remember there was a time where I streamed a horror game,
Mm-hmm.
and there was actually at a point where I couldn't continue anymore, so I had to take a punishment. But after that, after I quit the game, we decided to like, all right, you know what, let's look at some chinchilla videos, and so we did. And then we got to a point where the chinchillas, I think they were making a noise, but I don't know if that was like out of like laughter or if they were like trying to ask for something. I don't know. But the one thing that kind of scared me was their noise or laughter or whatever it was is very similar to my atrocious voice, like where I start to breathe in a lot.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Where I started laughing like like when I start to just laugh like that. Like that's almost the same thing that the chinchillas make, and I'm just like, oh no, am I really part chinchilla?
Yes, that's why you love them so much. They're your family.
That probably would be
They're your
I. They probably
family.
were.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, I won't lie saying that it's just like, what if I made my avatar part chinchilla, where I give myself giant chinchilla ears and a fluffy tail?
That'd be cute. Do you have any hobbies that you do outside of streaming?
Like I said, a lot of like the editing stuff that I do with some of my models, I kind of
Hmm.
just do off stream. I've honestly been debating on doing the stream. It's just like, all right, we're gonna do some edits. What kind of like expression would you like to see
Do
or
it.
whatever?
Mm.
I know maybe, but aside from that, I have been taking up a bit of I know we've had this conversation before about drawing. How the most I can do is draw stick figures.
Hmm.
I actually do have a sketchbook that I bought recently, and a few set of like pencils and even some like charcoal that I can use as well to
Oh,
draw.
cool.
And I mean, I've kind of just drawn on my own time. I haven't really posted any of it anywhere because it's more just like it's more of like you doing practice and actual like sketches or whatnot.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I was just doing sketches, some actual voice acting just because I'm bored of it. I'm bored and whatnot, and then occasionally a bit of singing here and there, especially when the shower. Because let's be honest here, who doesn't sing in the shower?
When you're feeling low, unmotivated, or like you aren't where you want to be at in your career, what do you do to bring yourself up out of that and to motivate yourself?
Actually, what I actually decided to do, like if I'm really low or down,
Mhm.
like I actually kind of this might seem a bit weird, but I actually kind of make myself cry, I guess.
Mhm.
It's just like if I'm feeling low, like
That can help a
unmotivated, like
lot, yeah.
I kind of bring myself down. I kind of just like listen to some music that I know will make me cry. Um, a lot of it recently being a bit of Porter Robinson. That man is amazing with the stuff. Um, and it's just like it can give me that good like tear, but it also gives me like because some of the songs, especially with this recent Nurture album, dude,
Mhm.
that song can like make you feel, and then it's just like it can make you feel sad at first, but then it kind of like towards the continue on with the album and actually feel like somewhat
Feel
more
better.
motivated or it makes you feel
Mhm.
better. That's what I kind of do. And then it's just like sometimes I decide to like watch like some of my friends who are currently streaming or just like I decided to like bust out a game. It's just like all right, I'm gonna play some Smash or some Mario Kart by myself for a
Mhm.
while or by the time when I was like playing VR chat, I would just like hop onto a world that I find like very pretty and just like lay back for like a good hour or so. Just lay back, listen to music, continue spinning and spinning and spinning until I feel dizzy and have to get up and use the restroom.
That end part is very specific. What is something or some things that you would like to change within the VTuber community?
Ooh. If you have drama with someone, please talk to them about it.
Mhm.
Try to see if you can get it resolved,
Mhm.
please. I feel like I feel like every other day there's like some kind of new Twitter drama, but then there are those ones who kind of like have Twitter drama, but then it's actually just a meme. That kind of stuff.
Alright.
That stuff's funny.
Mm.
But it's just like I've seen Twitter drama, and in some cases, yes, some of the stuff does need to be said out to the community.
Okay.
Um, but I feel like a lot of it's just kind of like if
Personal stuff?
yeah, I guess personal stuff. You could probably try to talk to the person about it, but again, I have no experience with it. I don't know what to do with about it. And also, another one thing I really wish could change everyone's shyness because I am someone who struggles with that. I am so shy that it's just like I've told myself for like months now. It's just like, all
Mhm.
right, I'm gonna
Do you more
be
mean
active
for
in these
like
discords. I'm
collabs
gonna
and
be
stuff? Or
not
just
even
in
just
general?
collabs, just in general, or
Okay.
at least for me.
Mhm.
But I feel like that's another thing with like a lot of in the community as well. I feel like a lot of us are shy to make the first move,
Mhm.
but when someone gives us the opportunity to, um, either we will actually accept it, or the time we want to accept it, they're actually busy with something else.
Right,
So it's
right.
just like there's just so many inconsequentials, and also time zones. Time zones.
Oh,
If that is not one of the biggest pet peeves a lot of people have to deal with,
I hate time
like
zones so much.
I remember there was like some kind of collab that I was in with a few people, and I think the person
Mhm.
who was hosting the collab, I think she actually lives in Australia. So it's
Hey.
like 2 a.m. for her while it's like 5 p.m. for the rest of us.
Yeah.
And they're just like either so tired or they mess with the sleep schedule so much that they're normally awake in the middle of the night and asleep during the day
Mhm.
that they were able to collab with us. And I'm just like, I feel like one thing people have should have on like their Twitter bios or maybe their Discord bios or some kind of way where it's publicly announced is what time zone they're in.
True. Now we have some questions from your community. Are you ready?
And knowing my community, I'm ready, but also not ready.
Wooly asks, "Do you ever regret giving your community the power that they have?"
I will say 70% of the time, yes. 70% of the time, yes. The other 30% is kind of just more like, you guys are having fun with this, and I see you guys enjoying it,
Mhm.
though at the cost of my misery and my pain and my misfortune.
Fair.
But you guys are having a blast with it, and I'll be honest, that's kind of like all I kind of really wanted. So
Mhm.
you guys have fun with it, but I feel like you guys are having a little bit too much fun with it.
Would you ever make a VTuber house in Final Fantasy?
I kind of thought about that, but
Oh,
before I joined the FC that I'm in, because I'm actually already in an FC now
guild, yeah.
with yeah, with my FC, aka Guild,
Mhm.
and I do plan on staying with them because I did remember seeing a post about someone making a VTuber FF14 house, but I think
Mhm.
that was in another server, so I wouldn't even be able to join in unless I decided to pay for the server
Yeah.
transfer. But I feel like I'm already fine with the one that I have.
Psychotic asks, What made you want to play VR chat?
Oh boy, yeah. Okay, this is actually a long time ago. Like this is
Hmm.
before I even got my PC.
Oh.
Um, because I remember I would watch like a lot of YouTube, and I remember watching like the OG VR chat streamers and YouTube content creators.
Hmm.
One of them being Whoops. I don't know if no one knows about him now.
Hmm.
Um, he used to stream a lot of VR chat. And there was like this big group called I think it was called the Big Five or Team Five or something like that.
Team 6,
In VR
I
chat.
think.
Or yeah, was it Team Six? I think it
I don't
was
know.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember it was just like seeing all the memes. Like I remember knowing the origin of the Ugandan Knuckles meme before
Yeah.
it exploded.
Oh,
I knew
wow.
before
Yeah.
it exploded. Like
Nice.
I witnessed the footage of that, like
Hmm.
when it was uploaded on YouTube and whatnot, and I was just in love with it, with how
Hmm.
memey and confusing. A little scared with the curse stuff. That's besides the point.
Yeah.
Um, I remember watching that and loving it to death. And I remember there's this one video that Whoops uploaded where he went to a Kirby world
Hmm.
where it was just a bunch of different Kirby models with different abilities. Like there was fire Kirby, water Kirby, cutter Kirby. I think there was like over like 20, like maybe even 30.
Hmm.
And I was just like, all right, I'm sold. I'm gonna get this game, and it's free too.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get this game. I'm going to that world immediately, making my home world, and then just went on my whole spiel of like going around as a little Kirby for a good while. And when I played it, like I didn't play like the original stuff where it's just like everyone just had green name tags. I kind of was there when they did that, like because I started playing VR chat in December of 2018.
Hmm.
And then it was like a good half month when I first like started to meet everyone that I finally started streaming. I was kind of just like meeting new people just in general, and I kind of just got hooked because in a sense that was the only game that I had because that was the first thing I did when I got my PC.
Yeah.
I downloaded Steam, I downloaded everything I needed, and I started playing VR chat, and then I started getting better parts so I can run VR chat better.
If your hair had a flavor, what would it be?
This is going to be an interesting one because in VR chat, for some of you who don't know, a lot of people like to be um
Touchy
let's
feely?
just say affectionate. Yeah, touchy feely, affectionate.
Hmm.
So if you're in any form of cute avatar, people will come up to you and head pat you and maybe even
Yeah.
hug you.
Head
And
pats.
then there are those extra kind of people who like to go a little bit teasing, we'll say. Just like little noms here and there, like that, just nom nom
Okay.
nom nom nom, like whatever.
What
And then there's
flavor did
people
they
who just
say?
like say the yeah, I was gonna say there's a variety of flavors I am apparently. Like people will say
Okay.
I'm peach, some people will say I'm bubblegum, there's some people that say strawberry.
Hmm.
I think there was one weird instance where someone said I tasted like a God, what was it? I don't remember. But yeah, the main three are like peach, bubblegum, and strawberry.
I would have said
That my hair style would be.
I would have said it could also be, or for now that it's white and pink, could be a strawberries and cream chupa chup. Where is somewhere you would like to travel?
Not exactly two destinations, but
Hmm.
two like I guess in a sense places in a
Hmm.
sense. One of them is to go around and see all the friends that I've made. See all the friends that I've made that like Serenity just did recently, and it
Yeah.
kind of still is now.
Hmm.
I go on a bit of a road trip to see everyone, and two, Japan for one reason
Yes.
and one reason only: a Kirby cafe.
Kirby's. Ah, nice.
There is a Kirby cafe in Japan that before was only open seasonally, but it's been
Hmm.
doing so successful that they've decided to actually keep them consistently open now. So I don't have to worry about time constraints anymore. I would just have to go to Japan and then go to the Kirby cafe. And one of the cutest things, all right, one of the cutest things is
Hmm.
that if you were to go alone and you were to take a table alone, they get a giant plush Waddle Dee
Aw,
to and then put it right in front of you so you're not eating alone.
cute.
And all the food items are like expertly
Kirby
crafted and
shaped.
made to make it look like
Hmm.
yeah, like for example, if you get like a burger, they would have like the bun and they would like steam it just enough to where like the extra steamed parts makes Kirby's face. And then they have like the different burritos and such, and like the Wispy Woods thing, they would have like a little holder, and then they would have the burrito inside of it, and it was just like they even go so far with like even like if you were to grab a sundae,
Hmm.
they would or no, not a sundae. They would make like a latte, like they do latte art.
Mhm.
And then they go like that extra mile where they have like that extra like whipped cream that like kind of pops out of the latte. That's like a Kirby and a Waddle Dee, and it is the most adorable thing I have ever seen in my life. And they also have like a souvenir store in that place as well, so you can get like little trinkets and T-shirts and whatnot. And it's just, please, if anyone could take me there, I will love you.
What is your favorite game?
Because for me, my favorite game would have to depend on a few things.
Mhm.
I mean, as much as I like play Final Fantasy, like, okay, even though I've only been playing Final Fantasy 14 recently for like the past almost year now, it has really jumped up there as one of my all-time favorite games. Like, oh, it has really jumped up there. But another game that I absolutely love is actually one that I have not played,
Oh.
personally at least.
Mhm.
It is Xenoblade Chronicles, the original one.
Right.
I have played 2, I haven't played X, but I remember watching a playthrough of Xenoblade 1 by someone by the name of Chugga Conroy, one of the OG gaming YouTubers out there. But yeah, when he did a playthrough of that game, the story, the just so much about that game was so good. The environments of the game, the music of the game, the story of the game, and how much, oh god, because if I were to say this, it would be a spoiler to the game. But it is so good. And when they announced that they have a definitive version, which is basically HD plus some more,
Mhm.
that was released on the Switch, I need to grab that game. Whether I do a playthrough of it on my stream, or if I decide to save it as a playthrough on YouTube, or just play it on my own time, I don't know. But I definitely do want to play that game for myself one day because it is such a good game. And honestly, one other thing, if I didn't decide to go with the whole Kirby aesthetic that I am now, I would have been the main character of Xenoblade Chronicles, Shulk. I would have gone with something
Oh,
similar to his style.
interesting.
That would have been what I would have
Well,
gone to.
yeah,
Don't worry about my arms trying to choke me.
it's fine.
It's just my community. It's just my community trying to take over my body and try to
Oh,
punch me
I
in the face
see.
again.
Oh, they're trying to bunk you again.
Yeah.
What is your favorite TV show?
Ever since like middle school and high school, I kind of just haven't really been watching a lot of TV. But I guess one of my favorites, like I remember a long time ago, probably would have been like that '70s show, Friends,
Classics.
those kind of
Nice.
shows.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I
I
wonder how
feel
many
you.
people know about that '70s show.
The SMB
Because
show?
as
Oh
much,
yeah.
yeah, that's '70s show. Because
Oh,
you
that's
hear a
so
lot of
yeah.
people talk about Friends and like they
It's so
name
good.
the intro
That
scene to that
70s show is
song.
so good. Come on.
I know that '70s show was so good.
What was the last thing that you watched online?
You mean like right now? Like the last
Yeah,
thing?
before this.
Um, looks at my like 8 tabs open right now.
Yes.
Oh, I was watching Big Jiffy stream earlier, as
Nice.
well as listening to some Porter Robinson while I'm working on importing a model for a friend that will keep that anonymous because they kind of want to keep it a surprise.
Okay. If there is someone, who would you get revenge on? Them?
You know who you are. You know who you are.
You don't
You
even need to
you
say it.
know who you are. You know exactly who you are.
I'm
I will
scared.
find you, and then you will probably beat me up because I'm not a fighter.
Do you play any characters on stream or intentionally emphasize specific parts of your personality?
In some cases, yes, especially with like Final Fantasy 14.
Hmm.
Like there'll sometimes be a cutscene with my character, and I kind of go into like a little bit of a role play for that specific cutscene,
Yeah.
and then I just go back to like streamer mode, just like talking to the chat, and then just like whatever goes afterwards. But sometimes depending on what game I'm playing, I like to like be a little bit over enthusiastic or whatever. Like try to fit the mood with what's happening in game. Like if it's something serious, if it's something funny, or sometimes I just decide to ruin the moment altogether.
Nice.
Um, but aside from that, I mainly just play as myself for the most part.
What kind of games are your favorite games to play?
Honestly, it kind of just goes on a variety of different ranges.
Hmm.
Like I could go for something simple like platformers, like going with Mario and Kirby and that kind of stuff. But then again, I do like some games with some challenge. Like if I did decide to do like the hard content in Final Fantasy 14, where I actually have to focus on what to do in battle. Like, do I have to sit in this position? Do I have to use this ability? Um, it's kind of like more of whatever I'm feeling at the time. Like, do I just want to sit back and have some fun? All right, launch some Mario Kart. Do I want to give myself a challenge? All right, load up some F14 and join a random party who doesn't know anything about the fight and wipe 4 times because the
Me.
healer won't
Oh.
stay away.
Oh no.
Also, strategy games. Strategy games are one of my favorites up there as well.
In general, what kind of content do you produce? So is it all games, or do you do any like music things? Do you do any like other specific genres, or is it fully games, just variety type stuff?
Yeah, for me, it's just kind of games, and then just like if I can add like a little bit of like spice here and there, it's just like, oh, yeah. Sometimes for the most part, right now, it's just mainly more with the avatar.
Mm-hmm.
There's just like, for example, the bonk, uh, with redeems and whatnot, and then I kind of like do like the little voice acting, like I said, I do with in-game characters, but I actually do have some plans
Oh.
um later down the line. I've said this multiple times in my streams where when I get the new headset,
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to be working on like producing more content for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, I want to do a set of like different skits. Like no
Okay.
joke, I have like one of my
Like
old
role play
drawing
type
notebooks.
stuff?
Not really more role play, but like, have you watched ASDF movie before? Ah, yeah, ASDF movie was like just like a random compilation, just random mini skits.
Okay.
Um, uh, that just like led to just something that I was just like, wait, how did this lead to here? Like
Okay.
one that I can easily think of off the top of my head was one person saying, "I'm gonna do an internet." He presses one key on the keyboard, and the computer just started flashing rainbows and making him fly away. Next
Nice.
character, "I'm gonna read a book." He pokes the book, nothing happens. Aw.
Nice.
Yeah, just do like a variety of like
Mm-hmm.
short different skits. And no joke, on one of my old drawing notebooks, I have like a page or two just dedicated to like skit
To
ideas.
ideas, yeah. That's a good idea. Keep it
Hmm.
all in one place.
And I actually also plan on doing like uh bringing in some new games to play on stream and adding like a little bit of challenge to some of these games.
We have reached the end of our interview. So, ending question. What are your socials for the ladies and gentlemen at home?
Socials are my main stuff that I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Kirbniac, Kirbniac. And for the most part, I mainly just use Twitter, and even then, I don't really post too much there.
Mhm.
Also, same handle, twitter.com/Kirbniac. I do also have an Instagram because my friend who introduced me to the fancy camera stuff only mainly posts on Instagram, so I decided to make one.
Mhm.
If you want to go follow me on my Instagram, it's all the same username. You'll know because it have my face on it. YouTube is also the same.
Yeah.
All of my social media is the same.
This was Vtuber Talks with Acapelisa. Thank you, Kirby, for joining me.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Yeah. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna start recording now. So much for those bloopers. My face. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Oh, it's finally happened. You're finally living the content creator's dream. Or you're
I'm
finally living the
glad it
content creator
happened
life.
with
You're
you,
forget to
though. I'm
No, it's
glad
not a
it's
dream.
not
It's not a
someone
dream.
who would get mad. Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
How
For
did
people
he?
watching this at whatever time in the video, we've been going at this interview for like the
For
past maybe 20 minutes or so, and that entire
I'd
time
say
she
like
forgot to hit
30.
record.
So I'd say like 30.
Probably 30 minutes. Yeah, she forgot to hit record.
Sorry. Usually I press it too early. I didn't press it at all. I can
You
cut
can
out the
discuss
like
this
the
again.
lore thing.
We're speeding this
Speed
up a
run,
little bit.
speed
We're
run.
speeding this up.
Yes,
Speed run.
yes,
Exactly.
yes.
We're speed running.
Yeah.
Fastest
Even more
VTuber
now.
interview.
Okay, done. Thank you, and good night.
And good night.
Bunk, 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 bunk. Wait, you know what I want to do? Hold on. It's my
Oh,
hand.
hi there.
Ready?
All right, yeah.
Bonk.
Bleh. Oh, that
Oh,
missed.
sorry. I got him, guys. It's okay.
Ah,
Oh.
there we go.
Did
Well, I
you
gotta
just
pop
like
myself back
blow
with the
through
balloon.
your thumb?
Yeah, I did. What? How else? I gotta get the airflow
yeah.
back. Just.
A bonk.
I'm talking to future Lisa from beyond the interview.
What do you think of my scene
This
right
again.
now? I'm interviewing myself,
Beautiful.
interviewing myself, interviewing myself, interviewing myself, interviewing myself, interviewing. Yeah.
The interviewing session is real.
All right.
Yes, the best thing about the leap motion. How did it track all of that? It's just like, well, give me that extra push.
Yeah.
Though I am scared of what my community plans on doing because apparently they're gonna say they're gonna break me.
Oh, nice. Do it.
That is not nice.
Yes,
That is
it
not
is.
nice. How is that nice?
Because they're
gonna
giving you
break me.
money. They're giving you money. Dollar
This is why I
bills,
have.
yeah.
I mean, we still haven't even got to the community questions yet.
That's what we're up to.
Oh, that is. Oh, there we go. Arm, what are you doing?
Cool.
And I
It's
understand.
tickling
I understand.
the
But
ghost.
now's not the time. There we go.
Has a nice noise.
No, I just had a bit of a stretch.
I don't know if you can touch it. It's on top of your table, like on the flat
Ow.
part. Don't eat it.
It's delicious.
You
I can't
can't
help
eat
it.
pixels. It's not filling. That's why you can't eat it.
You underestimate what I can eat.